Hey guys, so today we're going to be making, as promised, a xylophone. So this is what it looks like. This is much bigger than the one that I've made as an example, but like this is the first one I made. So yeah, you're going to need the whole rainbow of colors and a copper/wooden color. I used Sculpey in copper. So, what you're going to do first is, I'm going to pick up the camera so you can see this. You roll out pieces of clay that are equal to each other, and don't worry about that speck, I've turned them to the back. And roll it out, and I'm going to do the last one, the purple, as the final, is the example of this. So this looks kind of blue, but it's purple. And then we'll keep going. And then also you're going to want to roll out 15 or 14 little spheres, and these are going to be the knobs on each one. And you want these to be really small. Okay, so here, I'm just rolling it out. And you want the thickness to be similar to the other ones. So don't, like, you know, you might have to re-roll it a few times to get it right. I'm just doing that to smooth it out. And then what you're going to do is, what I do is I, like, put it there, and then I compare what the other one looks like to what this one looks like, so that way I can make it a little bit smaller, but not too much smaller. Because the last one's going to be, like, really small no matter what you do. Okay, so now what you're going to do, if you can see, they're all laid out, and make sure they're all front, right side up, so I'm going to do that, which just makes sure that, you know, the ones that are the best are facing up. Then what you're going to start doing is sticking the knobs right towards the end, but still a little bit, like not on the complete end. So, like that, and then you want them to go diagonally, so that way and come back to when I'm all done. But basically, if you can see, I've just started putting the knobs on, but it takes a really long time because you want to align everything so that way it's even, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so as you can see, I've gotten all the knobs on, so I'll just cut out the pieces for the next part and then show you what you need to do. Okay, so now what you're going to do is take the copper and roll it into a long log, and then flatten it, and I use the edge of my razor. And then once you flatten it, you're going to measure it, so put it against, so what you're going to do is flip the xylophone over, so you take all of the pieces and flip them upside down, and then you're going to take the clay and make sure that it's not the same exact length, but just a little bit smaller. Again, I apologize for my nails. I was painting things before and they look really nasty. So measure it so it's a little shorter than the length of that. And then once you do that, you just put another copper piece right next to it. I'm just going to align them up. And then cut it so that way it's even. So I'm going to take my X-Acto knife. Do that. Oh no, there's orange stuck in it. Whoops. And then you're going to have your two pieces. So once you have your two pieces, make sure that there's even spacing in between each xylophone key, and then put the pieces on firmly, like going in a diagonal pattern, and push it down very, very firmly, because this is what's going to keep your thing together. And it's important that there's space in between each one, so that way from the front you can see the wooden piece. So it should look something like that. And then what you're going to do is flip it to the front. So be very delicate, pick each key up individually and like loosen it, and then do that, because it's going to be really weak after you've pushed them all down. And then if one of the pieces comes off, like my purple one just did, just stick it back on. And this one, okay, so I'm going to go over some comments. So this is the xylophone, and I think that you should put on the knobs afterwards. I think that's what I did the first time, because they're not squished. Because when I turned it over, I think I squished them all. So I suggest that you put the knobs on afterwards. And then glaze it, or bake it, and then glaze it. And if you want to add an, to make it a charm, I would add a head pin and stick it in the first one so you don't see it, but because an eye pin will probably fall out because this charm is going to be a little heavier. So thanks for watching. Bye! And thanks for 40 subscribers.